What is up, guys? Just a mechanic, and welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be doing a product review on a primer in a can that I recently found on Amazon. And this stuff is called the Custom Shop Custom Coat Gray Primer. Now this is a DTM type of primer, meaning it's a direct to metal, but it can also be used on aluminum, plastics. It claims it's flexible, fast drying, and easy sanding. Now I can contest that it is easy to sand, and I will be showing you a little bit of examples of what I ended up using this stuff on. But I gotta say that, you know, Amazon has impressed me with some of the products that they offer online, and this holds true with this product. Now I was looking for a primer that I can use something a bit better than the stuff offered at Kragen's, Pep Boys, and O'Reilly's. Now as you did see on the bottom there is no plunger, so this is not a 2K primer, this is a 1K primer. And right there I just showed you the part number if you want to pick some of this stuff up. Now this is a 16-ounce can of gray primer, direct to metal. And basically that means if you do have a metal surface that you want to apply primer on, you can do so with this type of primer. Now, like I said, this is Custom Shop Custom Coat Primer, and I ended up using this on some plastic mirrors that I wanted to spray. And I must say that this is probably one of the best primers I have used in some time. Now it does state that it's for professional use only, probably because they want you to use a respirator for this. I will say that this is a 1K primer, so it's not a 2K. It doesn't have a hardener mixed into it, but it's still a pretty decent high build primer. Now I will say it's not the best on the market, and the reason I say that is because there are some better primers out there. But for the price, this is the way to go. Now, another feature that I did like about this primer in a can was its nozzle tip. Now, the nozzle tip actually had a pretty nice little fan on it, and was able to distribute the material pretty even. So here is some examples of what I wanted to use the custom coat primer on. Was these little plastic mirrors, and like I said, I wanted to give this stuff a try. I had never used this stuff before. I have seen it on Amazon, and you know, I wanted to give it a shot. So here you see me scuffing down the plastic pieces right before I add the adhesion promoter. Now I like to scuff my parts down and then add adhesion promoter just for that extra sense of security, right? I want the primer to stick as well to the plastic as possible. Now, I'm not based on the directions. The primer did say to add a adhesion promoter before applying the primer. Now, I went ahead and shook the can as directed, and I did use a respirator. And I gotta say, this stuff, it really surprised me. I didn't think too much of this stuff. I just said, well, you know what, it's a good price, 14 bucks on Amazon. Couldn't go wrong. So I gave this stuff a shot. I got 2 cans. I was originally going to use this on the Civic project, but I ended up using it on these mirrors just because I really needed a primer, and a high build primer at that. Now you do see me kind of heavily applying this stuff, kind of going all over the mirrors and trying to make sure that I got full coverage. And one of the reasons for that is these plastic mirrors actually have like a wrinkle finish on them, and my friend wanted me to get rid of that wrinkle. He wanted it to be buttery smooth, and of course you're not going to be able to achieve that with those cheaper primer stuff in a can from O'Reilly's or AutoZone or anything like that. They just don't have the build on them, and this stuff seemed to work pretty well. Like I said, it's not a 2K primer, but for a 1K, this had a pretty good, decent high build on it, and you know, for the money, I'd say this is the better stuff to get. Way better than the stuff you could find in the stores. Now that was the end result right there. Now as far as sanding goes, I would say that this is fairly easy to sand. I believe I was using a 600 grit, possibly a 800 grit sandpaper. I don't recall offhand, but man, it was just so easy to sand. The sanding paper wasn't clogging up, and you know, it wasn't all gummy and stuff like that. This primer was pretty fair to sand. Now that was actually the end result after applying all the primer and smoothing it all down with sandpaper. And of course I did paint them and clear coated them, and these were the final results. It was still tacking off at this point, so you do see a little bit of the orange peel there. They weren't fully dry yet, but as you can see there, I got a pretty nice finish. Not too shabby for a garage paint job. And like I said, my friend was actually really impressed with how this stuff came out. And this was actually shot with a spray gun, not a spray can. This was shot with the Weta 5000B, which is a spray gun that I purchased on Alibaba. And so there you go, guys. That's what ended up being out of the mirrors. And like I said, this primer in a can, good stuff. Alrighty, so that is gonna be my review for the custom shop gray primer direct metal. And like I said, this stuff is pretty good for the price. 14 bucks on Amazon, could not go wrong. And I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys are looking for some good primer, and you know, you're tired of the store-bought stuff, go ahead and give this stuff a try. I'm pretty sure you'll be very happy with it. Anyway, guys, I'm just a mechanic, and stay spraying, guys. Catch you on the next one.